Welcome to the 2025 All-State SEC Volleyball Tournament. It is championship night in Savannah. We're ready. The number 3 seed, Texas. The number 1 seed, the regular season champs, Kentucky, set to meet here in Savannah. That means the player of the year in the SEC, Eva Hudson, is here. The littles for these two teams have come up big time and again. Molly Tuzzo went for a career-high 25 digs for Kentucky. Never forget about Emma Halter, who always is able to track down a volleyball wherever it's hit. And Tori Stafford, yeah, she is ready to go, as are we. Inside End Market Arena, we are left with two teams. It's Kentucky and Texas playing for a championship as the SEC tournament returns after a 2-decade break, and a trophy will be handed out here tonight. With that, we welcome you. Alongside Emily Eman, I'm Eric Freed. So glad to be with you here tonight. These two teams, Kentucky and Texas, definitely have dreams of winning a national championship. What better way to get ready for a tournament run than to win a tournament here tonight?
The SEC tournament has been a perfect example of what we can expect in less than 4 weeks at the national championship. It's been high-octane offense, relentless defense, and players going hard to keep their playing careers alive. And that's culminated in two of the best teams in the country that have a great rivalry in this sport. It's going to be epic out there.
Let's start with two of the best teams in the country who happen to be teammates for Kentucky. Brooklyn DeLay and Eva Hudson.
Brooklyn DeLay and Eva Hudson are hands down the best hitting duo in the country. DeLay is one of the smartest players because she knows how to score in every situation. She has some of the best vision in the game to see the block and use it. That vision gets even better when she's hitting out of the back row. Eva Hudson plays absolutely fearless and brings an intensity to the court that is unmatched. Similar to DeLay, she's a really crafty player, but typically relies on that strong arm. The most terminal shot that she has is cutting it inside the block with power. Texas's block needs to work extra hard tonight to get touches to slow them down.
DeLay and Hudson in the semifinal combined for 40 of the Wildcats' 62 kills. They are that dominant. And speaking of dominance, it's Tori Stafford. She was in the national semifinals with Pitt the last 2 years, now trying to lead Texas on a tournament run.
And Tori Stafford is just getting better and better as the season's gone on. She has one of the most fluid arm swings and is so fast to get on top of every ball. That, along with being so powerful and her ability to sky through the gym, has led to yet another dominant year for the already two-time All-American.
Texas with Stafford looking for payback. These two teams met in the regular season, and it was a dominant performance by Kentucky. With more on the rematch, we welcome in Michaela Chester.
Yeah, Eric, Texas only lost 2 games this regular season. They already got to avenge one here in Savannah. Now they get another chance at Kentucky, who not only beat them, but beat them in 3 at home. I talked to Texas setter Ella Swindle this morning. She said they are looking at this as an opportunity to recreate the story they want to tell. She thinks this is a different team now. The coaching staff has implemented a lot of new schemes. And Ella said more than anything, they feel organized right now to show Kentucky how much more they have in them. Head coach Jared Elliott said this game is emotional enough as is for the players. I want them locked in from the start.
Michaela, thank you. In that Kentucky sweep at Gregory on November 2nd, it was just the second time Texas was swept on their home floor in a dozen years. That first set was so key. Kentucky came out storming, hit 571, so it'll be interesting to watch the opening minutes of this championship showdown.
Establishing your offense right away is so important in this matchup to gain that momentum. Look for both to go to their stars early.
The trophy is here. The match is on. Kentucky with the first serve, and Molly Tuzzo in front of a great crowd here in Savannah, set to get things started. Free ball early. O'Brien sets it for Thigpen, cuts the angle, and drops it in for the first point of the match.
Look for Kentucky to go to players like Thigpen early on to establish them, because as the match goes further and further, they like to go to their go-to attackers, DeLay and Hudson, who get about 70% of the swings.
Tuzzo's got an excellent serve. Can't get that one to drop in the first point for the Longhorns on the service error. Craig Skinner, head coach in his 21st season, won a national championship. by beating Texas in 4 sets in Omaha. So it's a rematch of two teams that had met in a national championship. And there's the Texas block, something that was such a big part of their success in their win against Texas A&M in the semifinal yesterday.
Blocking has been the #1 improvement for this Texas team, and Jared Elliott has talked so much about simplifying that for this young Texas squad.
15 blocks, matching a season high in the 4-setter last night against Texas A&M. They looked at Thigpen again. Diving play by Bunton. DeLay tries to set it up, but cannot keep it in play, and Texas is on top too early.
Texas has become an incredibly well-rounded team, even though they have 3 freshman starters in the lineup. One of those redshirt freshmen, Nia Bunton, 55. When your middle gets a dig like that, that fuels your team.
Tough one for Hudson to handle. Tuzzo, how about that setup? That's what Molly Tuzzo does. She had a couple of great sets yesterday and gets that set there, that assist for Kentucky.
This is just an awesome libero matchup. Molly Tuzzo for Kentucky is one of the best in the game because of her ability to get her hitters a really good second contact.
25 digs against Tennessee and 8 assists for the libero for Kentucky. Ollie Brezowitz with the serve. Ella Swindle is the setter for Texas. Diving play. Kentucky can't keep it up, and a point for the Longhorns.
Every team needs an X factor, a player that's going to step up that you don't typically expect. A lot of times that's been freshman outside Abby Vanderwall, #6 in orange for Texas. Tori Stafford and Kari Spears get a ton of swings, but when they have Vanderwall going, it makes a Longhorn scary. Vanderwall
credited with the first 2 kills tonight for Texas. DeLay. Up by Tuzzo. Vanderwall looks for another one. She's got another one. What a start for the freshman Abby Vanderwall. 3 kills after picking up 10 last night against Texas A&M.
Texas has to get Vanderwall going. During the first matchup against Kentucky, she was very inefficient, hitting at 125, only 6 kills. They need more production from the left tonight.
Somehow, Kentucky kept it up. We play on. Swindle looks for the kill and gets it. 44th kill of the season for the setter for Texas.
As the year has gone on, Ella Swindle has gotten more and more offensive, and it's added that extra wrinkle to Texas's offense.
Kentucky ends the 3-0 scoring run for Texas with the point.
A little finesse from the freshman setter up front, okay.
The SEC Freshman of the Year, Cassie O'Brien from Katy, Texas. Drops down. Good job by Texas to keep it up, and then that's off of Kentucky and out of play, and the Longhorns get the point.
Already Abby Vanderwall with 4 kills right now to lead Texas. She's doing a phenomenal job establishing herself as that offensive weapon on the left side from the front.
She's been doing it right from the first set of her Longhorns career. Had 10 kills in her debut against Creighton in match 1, 10 the next match against Wisconsin. There's Hudson with the kill.
Brooklyn DeLay and Eva Hudson are that 1-2 punch that Kentucky's relied on all year. They always have one in the front and the back row. That's what makes them so hard to defend. You never know where the ball is going.
I did math, which you know is always something to be careful about. 63% is the current number of team attacks. 2,104 swings for Hudson and DeLay. The rest of the team, 1,221. You know what's coming. We say it every time, but can you stop it? Trinity Ward with the up. Back row attack, DeLay. That's long, point Texas.
Normally you can't stop Brooklyn DeLay and Eva Hudson. What you have to do though is limit their efficiency. So no matter what, if they're getting so many sets or not, 60, 70 swings in a match, can you limit the amount of kills that they're able to get and force them to make errors?
Kari Spears had to adjust just to keep that in play. O'Brien to Hudson. slide. Lizzie Carr can't find the mark. And Texas, one thing's for certain, this is a much better start for the Longhorns than that regular season meeting in the first set when Kentucky just stormed them. And Craig Skinner, recognizing that, trying to quiet things down a little bit, takes an early timeout. The Longhorns up by 5 in the first in Savannah.
The 2025 All-State Volleyball Tournament is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. And Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC.
Kentucky became the first SEC team to win a national title. Texas going back-to-back in 2022 and 2023. Tori Stafford has been knocking on the door in her previous stop at Pittsburgh, back-to-back national semifinals. We've talking quite a bit about a storm here for this Texas team and what they brought. It's kind of been a bit of a phrase that may end up on a t-shirt. Here's a bit of a storm from Brooklyn DeLay out of the timeout. Michaela, what about Tori Stafford and what she's been saying about this Texas team?
Well, we've talked about how Texas's mantra is violence in the SEC tournament. I did some digging to see where it came from. Turns out associate head coach Ben Josephson came up with it. It's an analogy to a storm. Ella Swindle told me a storm is something you need to outlast. You cannot escape it. And they want that to be like their team. So many different elements to attack other teams. And at some points in the storm, it's violent. She said, we don't care who's on the other side of the net today, but the storm's coming for you, and we're going to play with the violence of a thunderstorm right out of the gates.
But what, Michaela, what did Tori say to you the other night? Respectfully violent,
Respectfully
right?
violent.
Yes,
Respectfully, yes.
Not much respect being shown by Texas right now. 11-5, Emily Eamon. What's been different here for the Longhorns against this Kentucky team that they did not bring to the table, the Lizzie Carr with a big kill? But from the Texas point of view, what's been different here tonight?
Texas is playing incredibly clean right now. Their offense is throwing punches. We haven't seen too many off speeds. Right now they're 7 for 11, hitting over 600.
But it's back-to-back points for Kentucky, and now they're fired up a little bit. Eva Hudson with the ace.
One thing about both Kentucky and Texas is they play with a lot of emotion. They're a chippy team, and they feed off momentum really well.
Stafford off hands, out of play, and a kill for Tori Stafford. That is her second kill. Tori had 16 to lead the team against Texas A&M. That was the last night in 4. In set 3, Texas and Tori Stafford fought off 2 set points to win. They won the set and then went on to win set 4, 25-19. Swept Ole Miss impressively in the quarterfinal round. DeLay says touch. The officials agree. Point Kentucky.
This is the Brooklyn DeLay specialty. Anytime in or out of system, whether the setter's on the net or not, she's able to find the blocker's hands and put it right off fingertips.
Tozo back to serve. Vanderwall made contact and has her 5th kill already here tonight.
How about that slice from a freshman outside? Check out the angle of this ball. Vanderwall's able to get on top of it, turn that right thumb down, and hit it on the 10-foot line.
Got a touch as well from Kentucky. Sent back by Spears. Spears again. Spears the 3rd time. Bunton, Stafford, we keep playing. Hudson from the back row, what a point.
Absolutely relentless defense on both sides, and that's coming from a middle over on Texas for Nia Bunton. Kentucky, though, wherever Brooklyn DeLay and Eva Hudson are, expect the ball to go to them in long rallies. That's that emotion you'll always see from Hudson.
We expect long rallies tonight with the way these two teams have been playing defensively. They will stay in points for a long time. And that was a long one. Can't get this one, though. Dropped right in the middle, and Texas gets the point.
One of the reasons Texas's offense has been so effective today, hitting over 500, has been the balance. Setter Ella Swindle is making sure to get every attacker involved in good situations, and her set location looks great tonight.
And that's helped prevent Kentucky from going on runs. Right now, Texas siding out at 80%. Put that number in context for us.
Yeah, 80% is insane. Normally the goal for context is about 55%, so skyrocketing when they're in serve receive.
Kentucky will side out. They get the point. Delay. Delay had those 22 kills, hit 370 against Tennessee. It was a slow start in that semifinal last night. Tennessee took set one as Kentucky hit 140, but they hit 300 over the final 3 sets. Vanderwall making a wall at the net. She's been dominant in set one.
Abby Vanderwall is so locked into the scouting report for Kentucky, knowing that on tight balls when the setter's up, she needs to be one step to her right in order to shut it down, just like she did here beautifully.
5 kills on 8 swings, no errors, and a solo block for the freshman. Offhand, Stafford gets the kill. That's her 3rd.
And Kentucky has to move the block a little bit more inside on Tori Stafford. Stafford's power shot is inside the block, trying to go cross court. Number 6 needs to be one more step in.
Longhorns hitting 478 here in set 1. That's going to head over. O'Brien, the setter, looking for the kill. She's not afraid to mix it up with the net, with a swing, with a block. Getting it done for Kentucky.
Now, Kentucky switched setters about 10 matches into the season. It was during that Penn State match where head coach Craig Skinner entered Cassie O'Brien in the match, and it was a difference maker. The offense just looked a little bit tighter, and she's a big physical presence up front at 6'1".
Of course, Kentucky had a fixture at that position in Emma Grome. On the overpass, Carr answers for Kentucky.
Lizzie Carr, such a physical presence herself up front. She stands at 6'6", has really long arms and big hands. She's able to dominate the front court.
Trinity Ward had an ace and a couple of digs last night in the win over Tennessee. Stafford, another kill for Texas. Texas, oh, I'm sorry, Emily. Texas is error-free on the attacks here in the first set.
Yeah, Kentucky's defense, just blocking-wise, a little bit too far off the net. That was a perfect example of not being up in time. Stafford still slicing that inside. Kentucky's got to move that block in.
12 kills, 24 swings, no errors. Kentucky's been on their heels here from the start. A flip of what happened in Austin in the regular season, where Kentucky dominated set 1 and swept the Longhorns. Another one, this time spreading out the well. Devin Kahawai with the kill.
This is why Texas uses this big double sub. They have Devin Kahawai coming in along with Rella Binney in the backcourt. It's a bigger block on the right.
Craig Skinner will use the second and final timeout that Kentucky has in this first set. Pick any number, and it's Texas dominating in that category. Siding out, attacks, they are error-free. They are hitting 500 in the first set.
And just dominant up front. Everything about the way that Texas's offense is running. It's been balanced, it's been unpredictable, and they've been staying aggressive, playing with that violent nature.
Well, Craig Skinner waits to talk to his team in the huddle now. Let's take you back a little bit in the locker room pregame and his message to his Kentucky team.
Anything worthy in life is earned. You've earned everything to this point, okay? This is going to be no exception. You've got to go out there and freaking earn it, okay? Last thing is, I want you to look at every one of your teammates in the eyes right now. You just looked at 13 teammates that have ultimate trust in you to go out and get the job done. Okay? Now go out and gotta fight.
No yelling, no screaming. I got the kids to yell and scream after that. Well done, Craig. Thank you for letting us into the locker room. He's also wearing a mic here, so we will dip in and out and listen to him as we can as we go along here. in this championship. And we talked about it right at the very start, Emily. Yes, both these teams are on the short list of national championship contenders, but talking to the two teams today, the two head coaches, they are putting everything into winning this SEC tournament championship. They feel like this is a great litmus test for what they can expect going into December.
There's no way to replicate what it feels like to play in the NCAA tournament with what's on the line, playing for a championship, playing for your season to stay alive. Head coach Craig Skinner talked about this is a great practice for his team in order to win a championship before they want to win the big one.
Use the analogy, there's competitive golf, tournament golf, championship golf, and there's different levels of intensity, and guess what? Tuzzo got to another one, and that's going to be a point for Texas. Great hustle by Tuzzo, but Texas has another point. They're rolling here in the first.
Awesome hustle by Tuzzo. What was so good about it, she didn't just get it up, she brought it back into the court.
Hudson got it in. Third kill for Eva Hudson. She's tied with delay for the team lead, McKella.
When we were talking to Craig Skinner before the match, he said they are going to have to put pressure on them from the service line, and that was the message in that huddle. Got to get them off the net to force them out of system, and then get up and over on the block. Get some touches here to slow down this Texas efficiency.
Efficiency may not be strong enough a word because 15 kills on 29 swings with no errors. It does not get any better than that for Texas.
Yeah, and you look at those numbers and maybe think Kentucky's defense isn't up to caliber, but that starts at the service line. Knocking your opponent out of system and jamming them up in serve receive is the best way to slow down an offense.
O'Brien goes to the middle, and Carr gets the kill. That's her third.
Lizzie Carr needs to be good in the middle for the outsides to do what they can. If they make sure to establish Carr as a threat, it opens things up for the pins later.
Between the two teams, 12 different players have at least one kill. Spears denied. Sent back, Big Pen, and Carr at the nets.
Big Pen just taking care of that block. This ball way too tight for Kari Spears to do anything with. Swindle kind of gave her a trap set on this one.
Stafford can't be stopped right now. 6 kills on 11 swings for Tori Stafford. The All-American heads back to serve.
It's so difficult to stop Tori Stafford because when she goes up, she can hit any shot. Her range is incredible.
Her serve's pretty good. Team high 29 aces on the season. Big Pen from the right side.
Asia Thingpen earned a starting spot on this team because of that offensive firepower. Look at the pop on this ball. She brings so much strength on the right.
Sophomore from Pittsburgh, North Carolina. Craig Skinner said right from her start in Lexington, she hits it hard. You got to look at it right there. Swindle with the set. Hudson couldn't handle the swing. Texas closing in on a set 1 win.
Abby Vanderwall already up to 6 kills right now. As a freshman in this kind of environment, that's the kind of play that you want to see from your youngsters this late in the season peaking.
Anja Kujundžić will come in to serve. Junior from Serbia, transferred in from VCU, her first season with the Longhorns. Serve specialist. With the up. Spears put it in a tough spot for Kentucky to handle. And it's another point for Texas.
Great dig from Kujundžić in the backcourt. It's a perfect spot to allow Swindle to run an in-tempo offense.
That's all pins and a point for delay in Kentucky.
The thing for Kentucky is their offense has actually looked pretty decent tonight. They're hitting around 300. It's that defensive piece and serving piece that they just haven't found a rhythm in because Texas is throwing punches left and right.
Molly Brezowitz will come on to serve. Active against Tennessee, 13 digs, 3 assists. Trying to go on a run right here from the service line. Tuzzo left the ground to get to that one. No touch, point Kentucky.
Wildcats are trying to gain momentum here in the first set. Maybe go on a run and keep it close, but get that momentum into the second.
Sent back, but out of play, and Texas has a set point. Kari Spears' dad, Marcus, likes it. Marcus, sorry, that's how you're known in this building. You're Kari's dad. Because Kari's one of the stars of the show, and here she is serving for the set, but that one sails long. Set point number 2 for the Longhorns. Delay. Trying to keep Kentucky alive in this set. Spears on the back row attack. Great up. Berezowitz. Fittingly, Vanderwall ends set 1. What a performance. 7 kills for the freshman.
Big offense for Texas during that set. Over 400. Kentucky's got a few things to figure out defensively here in set 2.
Marcus, you've been dialed into Texas volleyball and NCAA volleyball all season. What kind of pride have you taken in watching your daughter now competing at the SEC Championship?
It's been phenomenal. Like both of these teams are really, really good. A lot of talent on the floor, the respect that they have for each other. But as a parent, like I'm in dad mode right now. I'm living and dying by every single point, which is what you should do. People need to come experience volleyball in person. It is one of the most exciting sports you can watch.
I would agree with that. You know Kari better than anybody. How have you seen her grow this season?
I think she went through the process of being a freshman. One thing helped is she went to school early, so she was able to get around her teammates, get acclimated to school. I saw her go through the highs and lows of the season, but still stay diligent. And I think right now, for her, it's about being in the moment. That's all we've been talking about all week. Just be in the moment. Don't make it bigger than what it is. It's volleyball. You've been doing it since you were 5 years old.
You know scouting reports, and you send them to Kari all the time. What was the pregame text before this one?
I told her, one of them was, you got to just stay in the moment. Obviously, find your shots. Don't think power all the time, because people obviously relate that to you. And when you see the floor open, break the floor.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Michaela. I was hoping she would ask about the daily scouting report or the little text that he sends. It's detailed, obviously, because he knows his volleyball.
Break
and he
the
knows
floor.
his daughter. Break the floor.
Break the floor. I love it.
Set 2 is underway. And it starts with the Kentucky points. 439 hitting percentage for the Longhorns in the first set. It really kind of fits in many ways as a flip of what happened in Austin when Kentucky hit 571 in that first set to set the tone against Texas and get that sweep. This seems personal for Texas the way they've come out here today.
We've seen from Texas over the last 3 matches, the first set has been so good, so clean. Now it becomes a question of, can you sustain that over long periods of time against one of the top teams in the country? Because this is what's going to happen in the NCAA tournament.
Well, the early signs are that Kentucky has turned the page here on set 2. They're out to a 3-0 run.
And the number 1 key for Kentucky to change from last set was service pressure. That's been very clear so far. Molly Tuzzo serving bullets from the end line.
Texas had 3-0 runs in the first set. That's the first 3-0 run for Kentucky in this match. We talked about Texas and their side-out percentage. Right now they need a side-out to try to slow down the Wildcats. They They get it from who else but Tori Stafford.
Tori Stafford might have gotten that text as well from Marcus Spears.
Was she on the text chain?
Every single swing, she was trying to break the floor. Look how hard some of these balls are. Even when she has a double block in front of her, she finds a way around it with power.
Brooklyn DeLay steps into it for the kill.
Hudson flying through the backcourt on that, and where she landed, it kind of looks like a front row attack, but watch this, number 7 in white. She's coming from the back row, and this is what makes Kentucky's offense so tough. They always have that third, maybe fourth option available in the back row.
I thought I would make it through the match without confusing the 2 first-team all-conference selections and the players who are the player of the year in the SEC in each of the last 2 years. DeLay last year and Hudson this year. They're that good. Their numbers are so similar. Texas gets the point.
How crazy for Kentucky as well, when the whole conversations are about who's going to win SEC Player of the Year, and one of the biggest conversations was Brooklyn DeLay or even Hudson, and they're on the same team, and what a joy for Craig Skinner to coach.
We asked Craig Skinner about that as I won sales on a play. He really talked about the work ethic, the selflessness for both of those players, just the support that there is. And think about Brooklyn DeLay. Even before she got to Kentucky, everything was on her. She's been the star at Kentucky. She was a star before that, but now she doesn't have to feel like she has to do everything for the Wildcats. Hudson carrying an equal load. Texas answers back with a point. Mari Spears. Four kills now for Spears. Hudson cuts the angle beautifully for the kill.
This is the Eva Hudson special here, cutting that ball right inside the block. Watch her manipulate the ball with her hand. She finishes with her thumb down back to her body so she can hit a crazy cross-court shot.
Is that shot in any way, shape, or form defensible? It feels like there's no way. You had 2 blockers up there. What can you do against that shot?
Yeah, well, one thing that Texas is trying to do, good hustle from Emma Halter, is rotate their defense a bit. So they're bringing their left front actually a little bit wider to try to take it. But honestly, that's a ball that should be blocked. Texas should move that ball inside because that's Eva Hudson's power angle cross.
You mentioned the great hustle by Halter. Texas can't get the point, though, but it's worth taking a look at how much ground Halter covers here.
Oh, Halter's one of my favorite liberos to watch because it plays like that. She can track down anything when it's sprayed off the court.
Swindle sets Nia Bunton. Did not play in the opener against Ole Miss. Stepped in and had 7 kills, hit .429, and added 4 blocks in the win against Texas A&M last night. It's been some mixing and matching in the middle for Jared Elliott. You've talked about the block has been really the #1 area they've worked at all season long. Came together yesterday, and Bunton has been a force in that position here in Savannah. Kentucky's block. Carr and O'Brien team up.
Cassie O'Brien's block has evolved so much throughout the season. As she earned that starting spot in the setter role, her blocking has really come around because she's gotten more playing time and ability to see outsides going up against her.
She now has 75 blocks on the season. That's second on this Kentucky team from the setter. On the back row attack, Carr there. Vanderbilt had 7 kills in the first set. Kentucky was ready to celebrate. They had to do a double take in case it came back up, but the block is there for the Wildcats.
And this match feels like a professional match with the level of defense that we're seeing on both sides. It has been so good, almost impossible for teams to put a ball down this set.
Kentucky coming up with a couple of blocks, forcing a Texas timeout, helping the Wildcats to a 9-4 lead here in set 2. Down a set.
And Kentucky's doing a much better job putting service pressure on Texas. What that's doing is feeding into their defensive systems up front on the block. When you can serve a team out of system, you know where the ball is going. That makes it easier for the front court defense to stop.
Texas took set 1. They hit 439 in the set. They're hitting 167 here in set 2, down by 5. Swindle, that's tight at the net. Oh, beautiful read by Kentucky, getting aggressive and sending it back and extending their lead.
Kentucky overall is playing much more aggressive. Offensively, they're taking big rips, but they're really doing a nice job patrolling the net. Texas has got to keep it off just a little bit more.
Another 3-0 run for Kentucky ends here on the service error. That's their second.
What Kentucky is trying to do on the service line is pops them in short and then send it deep. That doesn't allow Texas's serve receive to get in a rhythm, or it takes an attacker out, like a player like Torrey Stafford.
Swindle and Spears rotate out. Rella Binney comes on to serve and set. What a rip. Hudson got everything into that.
Every swing from Hudson right now going cross court. Texas has to move this block inside just a little bit more so she can't rip it to her right. She's getting sharper and sharper.
7 kills, no attack errors, hitting 467. Kentucky's ready for Vanderwall, it appears, here in set 2. Great up by Hudson. Delay, was there a touch? Yes, say the officials. I think there's going to be a challenge here, though, from Texas. Every Texas player is requesting the challenge from Jared Elliott.
Texas is challenging block touch.
April Tricky, Patty Rope, our lead officials here today. There is an R3 as well that will be looking at this play.
Looking whether there's any fingers bent backward. This look looks completely over. That's out of bounds.
The call was point Kentucky on the touch. Texas disagrees and said there was no touch. As I mentioned, it's being reviewed by a replay official, so that expedites things, and here's the announcement.
After review, the call is reversed. There was no touch. Texas retains the challenge.
Each team is allowed 2 challenges per match. If you're successful, you keep the challenge. If you're unsuccessful, you lose it. If we get to a 5th set and you have less than 2 challenges, you are given an additional challenge.
And we love the R3.
Love the R3. In a sport that moves, has great tempo, has great excitement, expediting that replay review just keeps things going quickly, and it's awesome. Big Pan offhand, she's having a good match. Just played the first set only yesterday against Tennessee, but she's been a fixture here on the court tonight.
Craig Skinner talked about having another player step up for his team. You already know Brooklyn DeLay and Eva Hudson are going to put up 20, 25 kills a match, but can they get another person to be productive too?
Ames the middle with the kill.
Aiden Ames doesn't get a lot of sets for Texas, but when she does, she is highly efficient. During conference play, she hit over 400, averaging above 1.5 kills a set.
First on the team in hitting percentage. When you take into account all 25 matches for Texas, she is at 398s, and Texas played a very challenging non-conference schedule before getting into conference play. Off the block, out of play, point Texas.
Torrey Stafford still errorless on her 16 swings tonight, hitting 500. Great vision has allowed that to happen up front for her.
Delay off the Texas hands. Point, Kentucky.
Delay is using the hands of the block for Texas so often tonight. One key for Texas coming in was not allowing Delay to use their hands, going to fist blocking, meaning their hands aren't spread out, they're actually in fists, so she can't use fingertips. Look for Texas to go to that blocking scheme here in the future.
That's going to sail long. Service error number 3 for Kentucky. Spears and Swindle come back on for the Longhorns, and Swindle will serve. Craig Skinner's team, 21 consecutive wins. Just 2 losses this season in 5 sets to Nebraska on match 2 of the season. In Nashville, they were swept by Pitt September 10th in Fort Worth. That's it for Kentucky. They've won every match since then. Spears gets it to go.
Great out-of-system play for Texas. Swindle takes the first ball. That means libero's coming in. Great hands from Halter. It's high enough and it's inside on the net, so Spears can go up and take a good rip at it.
Good serve by Swindle. Stafford gets another kill. 18 swings, 9 kills, no errors for the All-American.
It's been hard to defend Stafford because she's hitting every single spot on the court tonight.
3-0 run for Texas, forcing a Kentucky timeout here in set 2. Texas won the first set 25-19. Tori Stafford, first team all-conference in the SEC. 10 double-doubles this year. She had 20 in her 2 seasons at Pittsburgh. She has been a force for the Longhorns, and again tonight.
Tori Stafford's been absolutely crushing it tonight. She's been able to see the block incredibly well, and that tells her what shot she's going to hit. Does she have the ability to rip it inside just like that? Or does she need to go high hands, put it down the line, maybe go to an off speed, doing a lot of that as well. And Swindle's getting her in a really good position, keeping it tight enough to where she has all options to use the block or go right inside it.
Talked about the 2 losses for Kentucky, 2 losses for Texas, and they were back-to-back. Texas A&M in College Station, and that sweep by Kentucky that we've talked about earlier. Since that loss to Kentucky, Stafford and the Longhorns have won 5 in a row. 6-2 total this year against teams in the ABCA top 10.
Okay, let's go, side out.
Let's go side out. Final command from Craig Skinner. That's what Texas did so well in set 1. Kentucky getting better in that category. That's helped them lead throughout this second set, but that lead a little tighter right now.
I listened into the Kentucky huddle before you guys were able to listen in, and Eva Hudson said, we have got to not let them set the tone and keep going after those high hands. But what I will tell you, Eric and Emily, the atmosphere is crazy. The Texas fans are right behind Kentucky's huddle, screaming. Nobody can hear each other, and same thing on Texas's side with the Kentucky fans.
Tell you what, great turnout here tonight in Savannah, and they have been loud and into it, knowing that this is a matchup of 2 of the very best teams, not just in the SEC, but in the country. Kentucky back on top by 3. Tough one for Spears. Chance here for Kentucky. Delay from the back row. Sent over by Delay. Up by Delay. Swindle to the middle. Chance here for Delay again to keep it in play, which she does. Bumped over by Washington. That's going to be out of play off the block. Point Texas.
Kentucky is doing everything they can in the backcourt to not allow Texas to score. They are getting everything up. And during that rally by itself, Texas had 3 or 4 free balls that they weren't able to convert on right away. That has to happen faster.
Hudson with another rip and another point. 8 kills for Eva Hudson. She is error-free on 17 swings.
And Hudson doing such a good job right now, seeing those small holes in the block that she can exploit.
8 kills for the senior from Fort Wayne, who had 20 kills to lead the team in that win over Texas. Hit .452 in that match. Ward and Hudson, great defense for Kentucky, leading to a point.
That's textbook transition on Kentucky's side. Great dig in the front court by Eva Hudson. A one-hander gets it up to O'Brien. Lizzie Carr is working her butt off to get off the net and be an offensive option.
Here's the freshman from Louisville, Ward, with the serve. Delay, tried it from the back row, but the Texas block was ready.
Texas is all over Brooklyn Delay tonight. She is hitting around 100, which is about a third of her normal efficiency on the season. To beat Kentucky, you have to find a way to limit at least one of the outsides. Texas is doing a good job of that right now.
5 kills, 4 attack errors for Delay. So they have the answer for Delay. They do not have the answer for Hudson right now, who gets her 9th kill.
That's why Kentucky's scary, because it's a 1-2 punch. One of the outsides maybe doesn't have an incredible night. Well, they've got another one right there that'll ram it down your throat.
Hudson with the block. I don't know who is more fired up, Eva Hudson or that young one in the stands. Love it. Stafford with the kill.
We haven't seen too many big attacks from Stafford. That's a back row attack that's quick right through the middle of the court. Something that Stafford has really been working on this season, and Texas overall has implemented a lot more into their offensive system.
Texas won set 1 easily, 25-19. Kentucky has led throughout here in set 2 in the best of 5. But the Longhorns, a little Texas fight right now to get within 4. Now within 3.
Texas is really pushing the tempo on these serves. They're trying to get back as soon as possible and catch Kentucky off guard and not ready.
Emma Halter has been one who has led the charge there. Right now it's Rella Binney with the serve. Hudson drive. Hudson goes long. That's the first attack error for Eva Hudson tonight.
Still a smart shot from Hudson, though, trying to go for high hands and catch Swindle's fingertips.
3-0 run for Texas again. That goes long. Give the point to Kentucky. Blocked out of play. Vanderwall again producing for Texas.
A good swing from Vanderwall, but this ball
goes
just
out.
Yeah, clipping her right on the way out.
Yeah,
that arm.
Got Vanderwall, so it's a point for Kentucky, and a timeout's going to be called here by Texas. So it's Kentucky up by 4. Timeouts. Back to Savannah in a moment. Early on Texas after stumbling in the first set. They have not trailed here in set 2 and lead by 4, 20-16 here at the 2025 All-State SEC Volleyball Tournament. It's the championship match. After a 20-year absence, the tournament is back. As the teams come back onto the court, I think universally the coaches, the players have loved the vibe, the energy, and just having this kind of event here at the end of the season before you get to the NCAA tournament, Emily.
Yeah, the All-State SEC tournament feels like a championship event, and that's exactly what these athletes and these teams deserve. And it's a good primer for what's to come in a week for the NCAA tournament.
What's a little different here in this match is these are two teams playing their third match in as many nights. So if this one drags on, that depth will be tested, those legs will be tested, because you don't play 3 in a row. That's off the tape and back off a Stafford swing. That's her first attack error. And Kentucky closing in on a set 2 win. Wildcats in this set hitting 219, but more importantly, they've held Texas to 122 hitting in set 2 after Texas hit 439 in the first. That's a big drop. And a net violation called on Kentucky that will give the point to Texas.
And this ball a little bit too tight to the net, and Delay doesn't have the ability to stay out from under the center line.
Ramsey Gary. Great shot by Spears to keep it alive for Texas. We play on. That's going to come over. Swindle to Stafford on the resets and the swing, and Texas back within 3.
Tori Stafford is working so hard to keep these balls alive, as is Corey Spears back there flying through, keeping it up. Stafford finishes it off after she got the dig before it.
Texas working quickly, serving as fast as they can. Halter, she kept it up. Great pancake. The defense for Texas getting it done. Kentucky seems pretty certain that that ball was down, so a challenge is going to come here from Kentucky.
Kentucky is challenging that the ball was in.
So they're going to take a look here to see if Emma Halter's hand got completely under the ball. So right now you are seeing what they're looking at in video review. And I think they're just trying to get on the same page right here. It's got to be the pancake for Halter, right?
Correct. It's technically called in or not.
So this is in real time, what they're scrolling through. We'll get back to the point where Halter was down on the deck eventually.
I'm just playing a little reverse volleyball action here.
Getting a little dizzy here. I think they're a little off of what they're looking for here. It has to be that Halter play. Craig Skinner is up off the bench wondering, what are we looking at here? It was just a moment ago, so they're trying to get on the same page with video review. All right, this is our video review. This is not. So that's what they're going to have to try to find here, and that's the look we can provide. They're also playing it on the video board here in the building, and that's why the Kentucky people and Craig Skinner, they're like, wait, what are we looking at here? Again, this is from our angles. That's clearly down.
Our angle is clearly down.
Clearly down, and now the crowd here is seeing this angle, and now they've got it on the right page.
After review, it was an unsuccessful pancake. The play is reversed. Kentucky scores the point and retains the challenge.
I must say, we've been here for several days. That's the first hiccup we've had with review. So, but when the stakes are high, people get a little impatient.
You want to get it right.
And they got it right. That was the right call. They finally got to the right point on the tape.
Should have waited a sec because the crowd was going crazy too. That was awesome.
It's going to be a Wildcat revolt here. So it's a point for Kentucky. They're up by 4, 22-18. Successful challenge for the Wildcats. And Stafford gets the point for Texas.
Really big point for Texas to win right there. Now down just 3 here, nearing the red zone, meaning from point 20 on. So important for Texas to play as clean as possible right now.
And Halter. Swindle to Stafford. Tuzzo tried, Hudson tries, but runs out of room. It's a point for Texas within 2. Kentucky does have 1 timeout remaining, and I think Craig Skinner's going to use it right here.
Good run down from Eva Hudson. Runs into the sign, sacrificing her body on that play.
So Texas not done yet here in set 2. These two teams playing for an SEC tournament championship. Kentucky down a set to Texas, up 2 points here in set 2.
Really good run from Texas there at the end. They were down 6 points earlier on in the set. That shows the Texas fight. The number one thing they're doing well right now is limiting the outside production. Brooklyn DeLay is not often do you see that 0 hitting percentage next to her name.
DeLay on the season hitting .286. And she's been so good against ranked opponents, against the 9 ranked opponents that Kentucky has faced this season. 5 kills a set on average.
Okay, run our play and get after it. Commit your decision and go. Okay, commit your decision and go. Let's go, here we go.
Yesterday, Craig was talking about with his team when we were listening in the locker room pre-match, red, yellow, and green. Once just green light, right, just go, and you got to let it loose. You can't be hesitant. You can't think against Texas the way they're playing as of late.
Yeah, especially when Texas is able to fight back. And we've seen it throughout this season so far. In that 5th set against Stanford, down 10-5, they go on a 6-point run. Multiple times during the season, the Longhorns have been able to come back from massive deficits. You never can feel comfortable playing them.
There was a touch. Point Kentucky. Big point there. Largest lead for Kentucky this set was 6. Texas got within 2, but now it's back to 3. You have to win with 25 on the board or win by 2. Right now, Kentucky 2 points away. If I say win by 25, that'd be some kind of record. You have to get to 25. Texas still battling. Did I say that, or did I just think that?
I think you made that up.
Oh, okay. Can always count on you for the support. 23-21. Here's Swindle. Right at the net, won by Texas.
The Longhorns are putting so much pressure on Brooklyn DeLay right now. They're serving her, and that means that she's probably likely to get set in this rotation. Their star, DeLay, has to come alive if they want to win this set.
Swindle serves DeLay again. They look for Hudson out of the back. Can Texas tie it? Yes! Tied at 23.
The mindset that Texas has just completely changes when they're down in sets. They play so clean, and Tori Stafford is a player that completely puts the team on her back.
3-0 run for Texas. Halter, great up. Stafford, set point, Longhorns. Greg Skinner trying to slow things down here. He'll bring Brooke Bolton on. Kentucky had a 21-16 lead here in set 2. Set point for Texas. Great bid by Gary and Halter. They just could not keep it up. We're tied at 24. You have to win by 2.
Big swing from a player who's been struggling so far this match. But that's what makes DeLay great. She has a 10-second memory to forget about it.
DeLay's got a good serve. Goes soft here. To the middle. Bunton. Set point number 2 for the Longhorns.
With that, that'll bring Tori Stafford, Texas's big attacker, to the back row. Expect her to still get set back there. Kentucky has Eva Hudson right now in left front.
Stafford again serves DeLay. Hudson, that is in. Point Kentucky. They fight off a second set point.
In these moments, expect Kentucky to feed Eva Hudson the ball. She lives for these moments and begs for the sets.
She is pumping up her team right now as Trinity Ward comes on to serve. Tuzzo off right now for Kentucky. Grabs the tape, Vanderwall. O'Brien played it, was close to going out. Spears off the block, that's out. Point Texas.
Impressive swing from a freshman during that moment. That set was nearly impossible to hit because it's coming over her head. She can't see the block. The freshman came up big there in Cara Spears.
Tuzzo comes back on for Kentucky. Bunton back to serve. Set point number 3 for the Longhorns. To the middle, and Kentucky fights off another set point.
It is blow for blow right now. Both teams using their sluggers to try to get it done, trading points.
Lizzie Carr with her 5th kill. Cassie O'Brien with the serve, the freshman. Spears, the Texas freshman. Tuzzo couldn't get there. Vanderwall dropped it in. Set point number 4 for the Longhorns.
Smart play from a freshman outside in this moment, knowing the defense is going to be on their heels.
Vanderwall now with 9 kills tonight. Rella Binney back to serve. Texas was down 6, but not out. They win set 2.
Doesn't matter the score, you can never count out the Longhorns in a set when facing a top 5 opponent. This is a team that fights so hard for every single point. What Texas did well was, it was a group effort. It wasn't one player that took over in this kind of moment.
At the nets, Swindle and Ames teaming up, and Texas winning the set 28-26. We gave Jared Elliott and Michaela Chester a second to catch their breath. Michaela, you got it.
Coach, what did it take to win that set and come back?
Well, impressive. I mean, they came after us hard with the serve early on, and we just stayed resilient the whole night through and just kept making plays and getting good transition swings, and Tori came up big with some big ball swings there.
What are you seeing from Tori Stafford and the rest of your team, the way they're battling right now?
Well, they're confident right now. They're playing well, and they're enjoying the competition.
So are we. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
So are we indeed, Michaela. Thank you, and thank you, Jared, as Texas up 2 sets to none in the best of 5. Kentucky led throughout that set until late, and Texas pulled it out 28-26, heading to set 3 in the championship match after this. On top of Kentucky, 2-0 heading to set 3, but first here's McKella with Craig Skinner.
Coach, what will be most important here to pull off a reverse sweep?
Just got to get a little bit more variety on offense, got to be able to score behind the center. Ace is doing a good job, got to get our middles going on slides to open up more things along the net.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Kentucky led 12-6 in set 2. They were up 23-20 late before Texas came back, and even though Kentucky fought off 3 set points, they could not fight off a 4th set point. Eva Hudson with 10 kills to face the Wildcats. Abby Vanderwall with 9 kills, but how about Tori Stafford, Emily? 15 kills, 9 coming in that second set.
You need your stars to show up in these kind of moments. Tori Stafford does that every single time for the Longhorns. If things get tight, if they're in need of a point, they'll find Stafford wherever she is on the court.
So Texas on top 2-0. Let's take a look at the match summary with that comeback in set 2 after a dominant performance in set 1, 25-19. Texas looking for payback. They were swept at home by Kentucky. That was their last loss. Now they're looking for a sweep with a championship on the line. And they have the first point of set number 3. Texas did not lead in set 2, Emily, until they had their first set point, 24-23.
That's all just about grit on the Longhorn side.
Kentucky's got to show that grit here if they're going to make a match of it. They go with Brooke Voltima here, and she hits the antenna, so it's 2-0 quickly for Texas. Bunton has 5 kills, 4 digs, and 2 blocks serving here for Texas. Hudson, Kentucky out of sync after that late run by Texas. Reeling here a bit, down 3-0.
Kentucky has to flip their mindset and stay the aggressors, cannot get hesitant, especially on offense.
Voltima off hands and out of play, and there's a point for Kentucky.
Brooke Voltima is a great all-around middle for Kentucky, and oftentimes they bring her in off the bench if one of them is struggling. But she did really well against Tennessee. She put up 3 kills at 600, had 2 blocks coming in off the bench.
And played just in those final 3 sets against Tennessee. Trinity Ward to serve for the Wildcats. Texas, the team out of sync on that play. Kentucky will take it. Within 1 here in the 3rd.
That's just setter-hitter connection being a little bit off. Really good first pass, though, from the Longhorns.
That's going to sail along. These are 2 teams that we expect to have #1 seeds when the selections are announced Sunday, 6 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. You and I kind of think like, well, this match here today might be who's going to be the #2 seed and who's going to be the #3 seed. You know, we're not the committee, we're not in that room, but that's just how it feels. There's Nebraska, and there's these 2 teams, and then there's that fight for the 4 seed, right, Em?
Absolutely. I think if I were the committee, I would put the winner of this game out because you have a Texas team that has more top 25 wins than Kentucky, although Kentucky only has 2 losses. One of those big wins being over Texas. I don't see how you don't give it to Texas if they win this, the 2 seed, because at the end of the day, the games feel like they have to matter.
A little discussion here. Brooklyn DeLay talking to our lead official, because O'Brien went after it, thought that she was on the proper side of the net, but the officials disagreed, so it's a point for Texas. Sent over by Swindle.
Swindle hasn't been overly aggressive offensively tonight, but when she has, it's been so tactical. When the ball's right up at the net, especially in transition, expect her to go up and put it over.
It's her 2nd kill. She does have 27 assists, and she's spread the wealth really well. That's out in Texas. On top by 5 here in set 3, looking for a sweep.
Kentucky this set has to keep the ball in the court. They cannot give Texas too many points.
And a timeout is called by Kentucky just as Texas was getting set to serve. Longhorns in control here in Savannah. Texas, big smiles right now. Different story for Kentucky, Michaela Chester.
See a new energy from Kentucky coming out of this huddle. There was a lot of urgency in that timeout. They said there's nothing special that they are doing that we can't do too. As we see them bring some fire right there. They said, get up, grab the person next to you, and let's go hunt. I don't care what you're doing, just go for it. That's what Craig Skidder said.
Kentucky's such an emotional team, and they feed off of that energy and momentum constantly. So sometimes it's just flipping that switch to stay in attack mode.
Gonna come over for Hudson. Knows what to do with it. Getting her 11th kill of the match.
Eva Hudson's been incredible tonight so far for Kentucky. She just hasn't had any backup. Usually it's Brooklyn DeLay as that 1-2 punch, but with DeLay hitting 0, Hudson's been having to do even more.
With that kill as a team, Kentucky comes up to 0 here in this third set. 3 kills, 3 attack errors for the Wildcats. Much better out of the timeout. Now trying to get the block going. Tuzzo the big pen. And a point for Kentucky. Here come the Wildcats.
Molly Tuzzo's hands are so pretty. Anytime she's taking that second contact, she knows exactly where to put it to get her hitters in a good spot.
That's going to sail long, so a service error for Kentucky. That's their 6th tonight. Gives a free point to Texas.
Too many errors from Kentucky during this set. It's a service errors along with 3 attack errors already. They're handing Texas most of their points.
Gary to Tuzzo. Hudson, great job by Halter to keep it up. And it turns into points for Texas.
Texas is turning that great defense into offense. Libero Emma Halter laying out for this one. Getting that left hand going to bring it back. Incredible play from the libero.
Into the net is Texas, so give the point to Kentucky. Well, there's a lot of love for liberos from the former libero who's sitting next to me, Halter and Tuzzo. And there's the Emma fan club, just one member of it because it's a big fan club.
Well, every time she goes back to serve, you hear Emma Halter chants throughout the arena. This place absolutely adores her.
What do you adore about Emma Halter? Because she's someone who has been a fixture for this Texas team for 3 years.
Yeah, she's as scrappy as they come, and she has that relentless mindset. She played club volleyball at Muncie. It's one of the best high school clubs in the country, and they all have that same mindset of just grit and relentlessness as Kentucky puts that one down. That's why Emma Halter's so much fun to watch. Any ball that's sprayed anywhere in the court, she's chasing it down, she's running into the stands, she's running into boards. Whatever she needs to do to keep the ball alive, she does.
Now her counterpart on the other side, Molly Tuzzo, the Texan, with the serve. O'Brien goes to Baltimore in the middle. So we've seen Carr and Baltimore contribute here for the Wildcats to bring them within 2 again.
If Brooklyn DeLay isn't having the best night, Kentucky needs another offensive option. Cassie O'Brien's doing a really nice job of getting the middle attack going as that third.
Spears, caught hands, gets the point.
The maturation of Kari Spears this season has been really impressive. The way that she's able to hit with more range, see blocks better, and understand what to do in what situation is one of the reasons why she's become one of the best freshmen in the country.
Not just a member of the all-freshman team in the SEC, but a first-team all-conference selection. There is DeLay trying to get her going, because the Wildcats will need her if they're going to have an epic comeback here in this championship match. Especially in two-hitter rows, meaning when Kentucky's setter is up front and they only have 2 attack options, they need DeLay to be that big option that they can rely on. Reswitz working to the middle, Button and Swindle connecting.
Nia Button's been really impressive tonight. She's 6 for 10 right now, no errors, blocking well too. It's no wonder why she's earned her way into the starting lineup in that second middle spot.
Baltimore on the slide, off the mark, point Texas.
Kentucky has to clean it up right now if they want a shot at coming back in this set, in this match, down 0-2.
Stafford with the service error. One of the rare mistakes for Tori Stafford tonight. 16 kills, 2 attack errors, hitting .500. You see the totals when it comes to service errors. Feel like Kentucky, they still got to be aggressive, but they've got to be clean here because the margin for error continues to shrink here. Down 2 sets to none and down in set 3. Good up by Breswitz. Back row attack delay, too long. Point Texas.
Kentucky holding that huddle just a little bit longer than normal to try to get some calm out on the court, that extra focus of changing the mindset.
Good job, Baltimore, who had a miss hit earlier, working in the middle, gets the kill here. Point Kentucky.
Brooke Baltimore's working really hard in transition. It's so hard as a middle, coming down off of the block, getting off in time to be available to get set, and she's working her butt off to do it.
Trinity Ward with a service error. Craig Skinner has watched his team give 9 points to Texas this set on errors, whether attack errors or service errors. 9. 3 service errors, 6 attack errors here in this third set. Texas serving up 4. Carr.
Middles have exploded for Kentucky during this set. It might be too little, too late, but they're showing signs of life, and that's coming through middle production.
If there's going to be a comeback for Kentucky, how will that play out in your eyes, Emily?
The biggest thing is Brooklyn DeLay has to turn it on. They need another pin option that's being terminal. That's going to have to be the #1 difference.
Hudson off the touch. Point Kentucky.
Eva Hudson is doing everything she can to try to score on the left side. They just need another option. Tied for second in terms of kills right now is Lizzie Carr in the middle. DeLay has to be in there somewhere.
Halter kept it alive. Going to be a point for Texas. Kentucky is protesting it, but this isn't something you can review.
This is not a challengeable call. So when Cassie O'Brien is going up to set, it's a question of where this ball was in terms of the plane of the net. It was ruled that it was on in the plane so that Vanderwall could attack it, but based on that, that looked completely on Kentucky's side and a missed call. I understand the frustration from Skinner.
She's playing well tonight. Gets her 6th kill. She's error-free on 12 swings.
And maybe Thigpen is that second option that Kentucky needs to come alive. And that's a massive point right off of a missed call that Kentucky needed. That momentum has to start now.
Thigpen turning to her teammates saying, let's go. And they go with the ace.
Guys, Asia Thigpen is one of the most competitive players. When she was 12 years old, she used to be so competitive that she would be put in timeouts at practice. There was a designated chair for her off the court.
There will be no timeout given to Thigpen by Craig Skinner and his staff here tonight the way she's playing. Texas answers back with the kill to go back on top by 2.
It is all green light right now for the Wildcats.
Red light, green light? Is that where you're going with? You weren't put in timeout as a kid? You did that perfect?
Only in timeout as a kid.
That's going to be a point for Texas. As they turn to the bench, but the bench players for Kentucky were adamant saying do not challenge, that the right call was made. The teamwork by Kentucky to try to protect the challenge. Oh, man. I think that hit Emma Halter. Did it catch her in the cheek and on the shoulder and on the top of the head?
Looked like the top of the head.
She's not even flinching, by the way.
She is as tough as they come, straight off the dome. I think she's just mad it wasn't on her side.
Yes, I know
she's
she
fine.
is. Tuzzo can't handle that one. A lot behind it to give Texas the point.
The Longhorns inching closer and closer to a set 3 win, which would end this match. This is the time where Kentucky has to turn it up a notch.
But even if they do, is that enough against Texas the way they're playing right now? Texas hitting .471 this set, Emily. .351 for the match. Much needed point there for Kentucky to bring it within 2.
What Kentucky has done so well tonight, and really this entire tournament, is they've been known for their offense, and the defense has been the question mark. The Longhorns have shown that they're also an elite defensive team at the end of the season right now, peaking at the right time.
Stafford on the angle, gets the kill. Texas the first to 20.
So massive mentally to hit that 20-point mark as Stafford cuts another one right inside the block, but hitting that point gives your team so much confidence.
Finish line is in sight. Can Texas get the sweep? Brooklyn delay.
Delay with that swing, a massive one at a crucial time for the Wildcats. That'll send her to the back line and bring up Kentucky's star right now, Eva Hudson in left front.
Reswitz and delay combine to keep it up. There's Hudson. Set back for Spears, off hands. Point Texas.
Another big swing from a freshman up front. Kari Spears doing such a good job on the right side, using the blocker's hands.
Longhorns 4 points away from a championship sweep. That one is going to sail just a bit. Kentucky gets the point, back within 2. Sometimes you get a little amped up. Maybe the adrenaline's pumping a little bit too much for Texas. Head coach Jared Elliott keeping it nice and steady over there. Here's Ward. Ames drops it in.
Swindle doing a nice job knowing exactly when to run the middle. It hasn't been often during this match, but when she has, they're both hitting at a high clip. She's getting them in good positions.
Swindle averaging 11 assists per set here tonight. Came in averaging 9 assists a set on the season. She has run the show beautifully for this Texas team. which is hitting .500 in this set. DeLay can't get there. 2 points to a championship. Timeout, Kentucky. Their final timeout. I know there have been errors in this set for Kentucky, but you can understand the Wildcats feeling like they have to take chances. They have to be aggressive, because what else can you do against Texas right now? They have been so good right from the start here tonight.
And Texas has looked like a completely well-oiled machine, top to bottom, in every aspect of the game. In order to combat that, you have to almost play perfect yourself, but then you have to level up and play as aggressive as possible. We're seeing some hesitancy from Kentucky on some of these swings, getting a little bit too tentative.
Stafford leading the way with 17 kills. Texas entered the week number 2 in RPI. Kentucky entered the week number 4 in RPI. You can see what they've done against top 50 teams. Charlie Cream in his bracketology has the Wildcats as a number 1 seed.
Use everything you got in the last part of the set. Okay, 1 point, this point right now, 1 side out, 6. Serve tough. Okay, here we go.
Texas went on that run at the end of set 2 to come from behind. They were down 6 at one point at set 2 and won at 28-26. Can Kentucky do it here at the end of set 3? Down
Kentucky's
4.
hoping for a marathon here, and if they're going to do it, it starts with a really good pass, and watch Eva Hudson on the outside take over.
See where Rella Binney goes. They've been targeting Brooklyn DeLay with the serve. Binney takes aim, but comes up short. Kentucky will take whatever they can get right now to try to get back into it here in the 3rd set.
This is a much better rotation for Kentucky to be in. Their right side, Asia Thigpen rotates back to the front. So they have 3 hitting options in the front court and 1 in the back with DeLay.
Their setter, Cassie O'Brien, ready to serve. Carr and Thigpen on the block, and Kentucky not done yet.
Wildcats getting their first block of this set in a timely manner. Good out-of-system ball, shut down by Lizzie Carr up front.
Texas takes a timeout with their lead down to 2. Carr with 7 blocks, Emily, to go along with her 8 kills tonight, and she's thrown in a dig for good measure. And Thigpen has been impactful. 7 kills, no attack errors, and 4 blocks for the sophomore. So Kentucky took that timeout a moment ago. That changed things around. Texas takes a timeout. Longhorns with 1 timeout remaining. We mentioned their RPI number 2, their schedule, strength of schedule number 1. We'll find out for sure coming up on Sunday, Selection Sunday, the selection show, 6 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. The 64-team field will be unveiled. We feel that Kentucky and Texas will be one of those number 1 seeds. There are 4 of them. Looks right now that the SEC will get 5 teams into the tournament, but we'll find out for sure after all the games the rest of the week take place, so we get to the selection show on Sunday.
And what that overall number 1 seed means is you get to host the first 4 rounds of the NCAA tournament, and having that home court advantage is massive, especially for teams like Kentucky and Texas, who have some of the best atmospheres in all of NCAA volleyball.
You mentioned a moment ago, for Kentucky to make a comeback, it would start with a good pass. That has to be the Texas mindset coming out of the timeout.
Texas in a hard rotation with Swindle up front, and the only offensive options up there in Ames and Vanderwall. Looking for Stafford and Spears in the back row as well.
O'Brien with the serve. Chance here for Kentucky, and it is a point for Kentucky. Double contact sent over, so it is another point for Kentucky. They are within 1. Swindle looking for it. Big hustle by DeLay. She can't track it down. And it is match point, Texas.
That's a gutsy play from Ella Swindle up front, but she knows that Kentucky is paying no attention to her when he's up there, and when she goes up, she scored every time.
Hudson keeps Kentucky alive. They fight off one match point. Hudson will go back to serve for the Wildcats. Match point number 2. Aiden Ames. It's long, no touch. Texas will challenge. We will have a video review that might decide the championship.
Texas is challenging block touch.
The call on the court was no touch by Kentucky. If this call stands, we're tied at 24. Does the right index finger of Brooklyn DeLay move at all?
Has to be indisputable evidence. From this look, no finger movement. That ball looks out.
Here's the call.
The call is confirmed. Texas loses their challenge.
So that means point Kentucky. We're at deuce. You have to win by 2.
Tori Stafford is also in the front right now for Texas. Go-to attacker. Swindle should set her in this rotation.
Hudson. That's going to head out. Kentucky has a set point. There is Stafford. O'Brien, Big Pen. Kentucky fights off 2 match points, and we will play on in Savannah. Texas was up 23-19. They had 2 match points, but Asia Thigpen and Kentucky will play on. We head to the 4th set when we come back. Presented to Texas when they led 24-22, but a 4-0 run by Kentucky to close out that 3rd set means we go to a 4th set. Texas still up 2-1, but how about the runs? 10-4 burst by Texas. They were down by 6 in set 2, and they won set 2 28-26. The Longhorns' largest lead in set 3 was 5. 26-24. Kentucky won it. Wow.
I listened into the Texas huddle, some clear frustration from Jared Elliott, but then heated motivation from Ramsey Gary. The message in all was take care of the first ball, side out at a high rate, and we can do this. And then, guys, I loved this. They said the storm lasts as long as the storm decides. You guys are the storm.
Thank you, McKella. 4th set is underway with Tori Stafford serving. That one is down. Halter couldn't get there in Kentucky. Really riding the momentum right now. 5 straight points for the Wildcats, carried over from the last set.
Kentucky is playing with so much confidence right now. That's been missing through the first almost full 2 sets of this matchup until the last 4 points of the last one. That gives this team so much momentum for the Wildcats.
It's the amazing thing about this sport. As Spears goes long, and it's 2-0 Kentucky. Texas had 2 match points, and you're Kentucky, and you are staring into the abyss that it is about to end You get that 1 point, you get the second point, and then all of a sudden, how things change so quickly, the mindset, and all of a sudden you're up on your toes, you're feeling great, you're the team in control. Kentucky, tough angle. Hudson has connected from there. We saw Texas deny her in the last set, but not this time.
This is how confidence plays out. A shot like this from Eva Hudson, just smooth right inside the floor. There are not a lot of players in the country who can hit that kind of shot 5 feet off the net.
DJ was playing the music. They thought the point was over. It's not over until Emma Halter says it's over. We play on. A whistle and violation. Point for Kentucky. It would have been very easy for Kentucky to fold on that point after Texas dug in on defense, but the Wildcats stretched it out to a 4-0 lead.
A double stack from Emma Halter, the double pancake there, come on.
This is 8 straight points run off by Kentucky. That rolls down the tape and falls on Kentucky's side, so that means point Texas.
Texas has to stay in that same attack mode that we saw through the first 2 sets up until those last 4 points. They did such a good job offensively, keeping things spread out and swinging hard. They can't let up from that, even though Kentucky has a set under their belt.
We got you.
Vanderwall off the touch. That's her 11th kill.
Vanderwall started this match absolutely blazing. She had 7 kills during the first set, then got a little bit quiet. Look for Texas to get her going again.
Vanderwall double figures in kills again. 14th time this season she's gone for 10 or more. That's out of play. And the Longhorns have another point. 3-0 run for Texas.
Nia Button's been fantastic during this match. She's getting involved offensively, defensively, getting digs in the back row, and an ace right there.
Lizzie Carr on the slide, point Kentucky.
Carr has also developed as one of the most productive attackers for Kentucky tonight. Any opportunity that O'Brien gets to set her should be going to the middle.
Big Pen back on, so it's Hudson, Big Pen, and Carr up front for Kentucky. Made a great point late in set 3, how Kentucky was in a rotation that really favored them, and they made the most of it. Here's Spears signing out for Texas.
Big swing from the freshman opposite. Kari Spears getting a really nice look, going over the blocker's hands this time.
Willa Binney ready to serve for the Longhorns. Up 2-1 in the best of 5. Carr says there was a touch, and they'll turn right to the bench and insist to head coach Craig Skinner. Time to use a challenge.
Kentucky is challenging block touch.
First look, what we can see.
The
Second
arm,
look, yeah, look
arm of
forearm.
swindle. The change of direction on the ball is the key there.
And now with the enhanced look from Hawkeye Technology.
After review, the ball is touched. Point Kentucky. Kentucky retains their challenge.
Successful challenge again for the Wildcats. So the Wildcats on top by 2. Texas took set 1, 25-19. They were down 23-20 in set 2, but won 28-26. Kentucky fought off 2 match points in set 3 to force a fourth set. Texas within one.
Spears is blowing it up right now. She's done a better job throughout this match at identifying when she has a green light to take a big swing and then when to pull back just a little bit. The last few points have been all power.
Dad, it's tough to watch. You'll get there one day. If you're watching your kids, it's like, oh my gosh. You just have, you have no idea. Lizzie Carr. Carr's been great tonight. That's 11 kills to go along with her 7 blocks. Carr's career and season high is 13.
Just in terms of point scoring, that's massive for a player like Lizzie Carr. She's been a part of 19 points just by herself alone.
Last 3 kills for Kentucky from Carr. She had 17 kills in the first 2 matches for Kentucky, so she's had a great tournament here in Savannah. Mistake by Kentucky, point Texas. Sorry, Em.
Well, thinking back to the first time that Kentucky met up with Texas, Carr struggled. She hit 0.77. She only had 4 kills, doing a much better job this time around.
Tuzzo, good job to control that serve from Halter. Stafford. It was touched by Kentucky. That's a point for Texas. Tori Stafford now with 18 kills to lead all players. Tied at 7. Good response by Texas after the 4-0 run for Kentucky to start set number 4. Rolled over by DeLay. It was down, so it's a point for Kentucky.
Smart decision from Brooklyn DeLay. Her hard swings aren't landing, so she goes to what she can also do, which is a good off-speed, good roll shot to the middle of the court.
Resowitz to Stafford. Swindle looks for the kill, couldn't get it over. It's a point for Kentucky.
Smart decision for Swindle, just a little bit too far off the net. But again, going up, no blocker up for Kentucky with her.
Swindle sets it for Stafford. Tuzzo straight up. DeLay has it sent back. Swindle at the net.
DeLay getting a little bit hesitant because those hard swings aren't landing. Texas is doing such a good job completely containing her.
She has more errors than kills. 10 kills, 11 attack errors for Brooklyn DeLay.
DeLay hasn't had a match this season, only one so far, hitting below 100.
Texas has really made a point of taking her out of the attack for Kentucky. That's off Kentucky. Texas has the point. We're tied again here in set 4.
And typically the key to taking down Kentucky, which not a lot of teams have been able to do just 2 this season, is limiting outside efficiency. You have 2 really good players. If one goes off, can you contain the other one? That's what Texas is doing tonight.
Stafford. DeLay, sent it over, Swindle. Back row attack, Hudson stepped into it and hammered it home.
Big swings from Hudson wherever she is out on the court. That's why she earned SEC Player of the Year. She can hit you from anywhere.
When she hits you, it hurts.
Really bad, I would imagine.
Spears use that reach to just get it over. Sent right back by Baltimore.
The middles for Kentucky have done a really nice job tonight being up and available for the setter.
Baltimore with 6 kills. Carr with 11 kills. Middles getting it done for Kentucky. Trying to mount a comeback here in the SEC Tournament Championship match. Heads towards the first row, couldn't keep it in play. Point Texas.
Good defense on the Longhorn side. The back row working really well together. Ramsey Gary, the defensive specialist, alongside Emma Halter, the libero.
Stafford, too much on that serve. Point Kentucky. Each team with 8 service errors tonight. These two teams, number 1 and number 2, when it comes to kills per set in the SEC and also in the country. Texas number 1, Kentucky number 2. Evenly matched teams battling here, and Spears with the kill. She has 11. That's 3 in double figures for Texas, 3 in double figures for Kentucky. And the call is out. What's going to go here with Jared Elliott? Is he going to challenge? I thought that was down for Spears. They're calling a touch. Well, let's find out for sure. Hang on. I got somebody.
Texas is challenging. The ball was in.
In. So out was the call. Thank you, Emily. I thought the ball was in.
Me too.
I think review shows that the ball is in.
After review, the ball was in. The play is reversed. Texas earns the point and retains the challenge.
Fourth set, you see the challenges remaining. If we go to a 5th, each team will pick up an additional challenge if they have less than 2. Right now, that's the situation for Texas. Hudson, it is a situation for Texas. They can't control her right now. 18 kills for Eva.
Hudson is doing such a good job slicing this ball inside the block. She's done it time and time again against Texas. The Longhorns got to move that in just a little bit more to take away the power shot.
O'Brien serves. Tusso, great reaction just to keep it alive. A little bit of a scramble on each side right now. They go to Hudson. Diving play by Swindle. She can't keep it in play, and it's a point for Kentucky.
Good defense up front for the Wildcats. Now having some momentum. This 3-point cushion is massive right now for Kentucky.
O'Brien has 44 assists tonight. She cannot connect with an ace, so it's a point for Texas as that one heads out. Substitutions for Texas. Binney is on to serve. Kahawai is on as well for the Longhorns. Wasn't looking good for the Kentucky fans. The Wildcats fought off 2 match points, and we're still playing here in Savannah. Hudson off the touch, point Kentucky, and that gets us to immediate timeout. The Wildcats trying to mount a comeback, fired up here in Savannah.
They've gotten set enough tonight. Brooke Boltema coming in off the bench with 6 kills, hitting 400, and Lizzie Carr doing such a nice job. Those 11 kills at almost a 500 clip, along with 7 blocks.
Then you add in Asia Thigpen, her 8 kills from the right side with no attack errors. How has that helped offset what has been a tough night for Brooklyn DeLay, because Texas has done all they can to make it tough on her?
It's been massive right now for those 3 positions to really level up their play if one of their other stars is struggling, like Brooklyn DeLay is right now, hitting negative.
Out of the media timeouts. O'Brien with the save, thrown down by Carr. Carr again. We were just giving praise to the middles, and there's Lizzie Carr in the middle of everything again for Kentucky.
I
I listened into the Texas huddle. They said if you decide we're going to play 2.5 hours, then we're going 5. But if we want to win it now, this is the section where we find our rhythm. We got to find our rhythm on high balls and find our kill shots again, Emily.
It's really important for Texas. They've gone away from some of the things that they were doing early on. Some of the hard swings, they're now getting a little bit more lax on and going to offsides. Would love to see Texas back in attack mode.
Longhorns hitting 217 this set. Kentucky 355 this set. Vanderwall off the touch. Or so they thought. It's called Kentucky point, and Jared Elliott is going to go back to replay here. Now remember, Texas is left with one challenge.
Texas is challenging block touch.
So this is key here for the Longhorns. If this is unsuccessful, they will be without a challenge for the rest of this fourth set.
Looking for fingers bent back. Get a good one, that left index finger of Thigpen.
After review, the play is reversed, the ball is touched. Point Texas. Texas retains their challenge.
So Texas with one challenge remaining, Kentucky with 2 challenges remaining. Point for the Longhorns. Here's Gary to serve for Texas. Brooklyn delay. That's vintage Brooklyn delay on that swing for Kentucky.
That shows you how confident Brooklyn Delay is as a player. She might not be having the night overall that maybe she had or Kentucky had hoped for, but she'll still continue to take big swings.
Texas late to meet the All-American. She took advantage. Tuzzo, good serve. Stafford leans into one. 21 kills now for Tori Stafford.
Kentucky has had no answer for Tori Stafford so far tonight. She is doing such a good job hitting her shots with range and not allowing the defense to get comfortable.
Service error for Texas. That's their night. Brezowitz to serve for the Wildcats. Placed perfectly by Stafford. 22 kills tonight. She had 16 last night against Texas A&M, 16 in the opener against Ole Miss. The Hudson-Stafford showdown has been fantastic, both at the 20-kill mark. Hudson answers.
Hudson's so good from all around the court, especially when she's in the back row. She knows exactly where the blockers are lined up. In this case, she has help from that right side, but there's a big hole in it, so she can go right through and rip it.
Delay, beautiful serve, gets the ace for Kentucky, and a big smile, the biggest of the night from Brooklyn Delay.
And even though the Delay hasn't had the best offensive match for her, she's leading her team in digs right now and is passing well, so she's making up for it in different areas.
That's a great sign of it. Just a great All-American type player. It may not be your night with the big swings, but you can find other ways to help your team, and that's what Brooklyn Delay's been doing her entire Kentucky career, Michaela.
And when Eva first transferred to Kentucky, they both admitted to me that they were intimidated by each other at first before becoming fast friends. They're now able to feed off of each other so well. Brooklyn feeds off of Eva's fire, and Eva looks to Brooklyn to level her on the court. Eva said Brooklyn's shot selection is nasty. It challenges Eva to get out of her comfort zone and try new things, but Brooklyn admires Eva's control for the game, saying every touch she betters the game. But all that praise doesn't mean they don't don't compete, guys. Eva told me it's unspoken, but they're always trying to one-up each other with the kill count. The competitive edge is always there between them.
And McKella, egos could get in the way. Brooklyn DeLay, this is her team. She was the SEC Player of the Year last year, and here comes Eva Hudson, the Player of the Year this year. But there's nothing but love and support. There's none of that pettiness or something that you can get in some teams. It's all for the team.
And you know what feels even better than winning an SEC Player of the Year award is winning a national championship. And to have these two players on the same team makes Kentucky a national championship caliber type of team. So yeah, there might be competition between the two, but iron sharpens iron, and they've both gotten better because of each other.
So DeLay, after picking up the ace, her first of the night and her 20th of the season. Do you think Brooklyn would be embarrassed that her mom was singing along and pointing down to her in the stands, or just loving it, saying, "Give me more, Mom"?
You gotta love it.
On the slide, Baltimore!
Kentucky looking confident right now. Brooklyn DeLay back on the service line, doing such a nice job. But hey, we've seen Texas completely erase leads before. They've already done it with a 6-point lead during set 2. They've got to do it here now if they want a chance.
3-0 lead, 3-0 run for Kentucky. Stafford, Hudson tried but could not keep it up. It's a point for Texas. That ends the mini run and sends Tori Stafford back to serve for the Longhorns. There was a touch. Point Texas.
Great precision from Kari Spears. She's done such a nice job tonight, swinging high, going for high hands in the back third of the court.
Back row attack, Stafford. Timeout, Kentucky, as Texas is on the comeback trail.
Big swing from Tori Stafford in this kind of moment. Even when she's in the backcourt, Kentucky has to know where Stafford is at all times. She will get set from anywhere, and she will score from anywhere.
And she's been piling up points lately for Texas. 24 kills, hitting .524 in a championship match. That is a crazy good number. And she's ready for more. 3 assists for Stafford. She has 4 of the last 5
Don't try and do too much. That's what we do, okay? Don't try to overread it. Accept the stick in the donut. Okay, crowd the court on the one-on-one. Okay, get up quick and early. Make sure everyone in the gym thinks you're gonna get set right here. Okay, one pass side out. Here we go.
One pass side out. Simple sometimes is the message at the end. That's worked well for Kentucky. But right now, Tori Stafford trying to continue this burst by Texas. A 3-0 run to bring it down to a 3-point deficit here in set 4. Texas won set 1. They won set 2 after falling behind by 6. Kentucky battled back from 2 match points to win set 3. Now trying to force a set 5, but Tori Stafford trying to keep it going for the Longhorns. It's Stafford again.
Back to back for Tori Stafford, coming flying through the backcourt. Another almost wide open net. Kentucky needs to get at least a touch on that.
This time Spears, all Texas right now.
If the last 2 sets were any indication of how this one's gonna go, we are in for a long one. Another massive play from Texas to end it.
Hudson drops the hammer to end the 5-0 run and put Kentucky up by 2.
In this moment, look for both sides to go to their stars. Texas has been feeding Stafford. Look for Kentucky to do the same with Eva Hudson, number 7 in white.
22 kills for Hudson, 25 for Stafford. Ward, service error. Tezzo is on, Baltimore and Ward off. Emily?
2 good hitting options for Kentucky right now with Lizzie Carr up front, who's been great on that slide.
Benton with the serve. Serves it at Hudson. Into the net is Texas. Point Kentucky. Great job by Tuzzo again, who had a career high last night with 25 digs. She kept that point going, and Kentucky 2 points away from forcing a 5th set. That is out. It is set point Kentucky. Texas will use their final timeout of the 4th set. Texas went on a 5-0 run to pull within 1. Kentucky fighting back as they have since late in the 3rd set. Tori Stafford getting some work done, knee and quad area. Remember, this is the 3rd match in as many nights for these 2 teams. We've watched both teams just try to stay hydrated and just try to win this battle. That battle back on November 2nd was all Kentucky, was not close. Kentucky jumped out. Craig Skinner's team trying to fight back right now. Players talking it over right now. Eva Hudson has led her playing to the talking tonight.
Even when you know where the ball is going, Eva Hudson is so incredibly difficult to stop, and she's affecting the game from all around. She's put a tick mark in pretty much every statistical category. Offensively, though, she is going absolutely off. In these kind of moments at the end of this 4th, and if we go to a 5th set, look for Kentucky to rely on her more than ever. Even when she's in the back row, she will explode back there and provide a lot of points for Kentucky.
Just high-level offensive volleyball from these 2 teams here in this set. Emily, Kentucky's hitting 372, Texas hitting 333. They just used their final timeout. Michaela, what was the message in the huddle?
Most of that huddle was actually talking to Ella Swindle. Couldn't hear the most of it, but just fine-tuning where she's going to go here. I talked to her ahead of this match. She said in crucial moments like this, she reminds herself, I am Ella Swindle. She looks to her teammates, and she says, anything I do is going to be enough here.
O'Brien serves, set point Kentucky. Stafford to Vanderwall, touch Kentucky. Texas fights off a net set point.
Big swing from a freshman in that kind of moment. Vanderwall coming up clutch.
Set point number 2 for the Wildcats. Binney. O'Brien to the middle. And that's going to hit the antenna. It will give set 4 to Kentucky. And we will have a 5-setter to determine the SEC tournament champion. Awesome theater, awesome performance. Let's go 5 in Savannah.
Woo!
so much success in the SEC. 9 straight SEC titles, outright or co-champs. They were the regular season champions this year. After a 20-year absence, the SEC tournament has returned, trying to add an SEC tournament title to their trophy case. They were down 2-0. They fought off 2 match points in the 3rd set. They have won back-to-back sets to force a 5th and deciding set here at the 2025 All-State SEC Volleyball Tournament. A reminder, if you're new to volleyball or just want a refresher, we play to 15 in the 5th set. It goes very quickly, and the intensity is high throughout. And it's been high throughout this match, so we are ready. Are you ready for a 5th set? I know you are.
First of all, I love the SEC tournament. This is exactly what we wanted in this kind of caliber of championship, and this match is absolutely delivering right now.
Michaela Chester, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, Eric, and so is Texas. I listened into that huddle. Assistant coach David Hunt, he looked around and he said, we're awesome at 5 sets. What are we, 5-0 this year? It was nods all around. He said, go out there and be proud and confident.
You think back to a couple of the big wins for Texas this year. To his point, they knocked off Louisville and Fort Worth in 5. They fought off match point in the 5th, won 16-14. Last time they were reverse swept was September of last year against Miami. This year in all of volleyball, there's been 190 reverse sweeps. It has been a big thing in volleyball, and might we have a reverse sweep today if Kentucky wins this championship and they win this 5th set? We'll have another reverse sweep in college volleyball. Here we go, 5th set. Championship on the line, Texas and Kentucky. Texas gets the first point.
5th set's become about who's going to defend better. You know that the stars are going to come alive. The offense is going to be there, but can you dig in defensively to limit your opponent?
Officially, Kentucky 3-1 in 5-setters this year. Texas 4-1 5-setters, Emily. Hudson has it sent back, and the first 2 points of the 5th set belong to Texas.
Great net play from the Longhorns up there. They've been playing an aggressive, physical style all night, and that's paid off.
Texas, once again, loves to push the tempo. They're ready to serve after a point right away. Stafford from her knees kept it up. That's off Spears, and that's going to go out of play. Point Kentucky.
Big hustle on Texas' side, but Baltimore coming in off of the bench this match to provide a ton of offensive spark for the Wildcats.
Stafford, no touch, 2-2 in the 5th. Just the 3rd attack error on 45 swings for Tori Stafford. 26 kills, hitting .533. Swindle looks for the kill, threw it off of Kentucky and gets the point.
Ella Swindle has been one of the most efficient attackers for Texas tonight. When she's had really good looks, she has not been afraid to go up and score. It's worked really well.
Halter to Tuzzo. Halter up. Sent back. Kentucky, Lizzie Carr having a fantastic championship match.
Lizzie Carr is playing out of her mind during this match. She has a career high in kills. She's up to 8 blocks up there, completely dominating the net.
Cassie O'Brien teams up with Carr, who has 8 blocks and 13 kills. Looking for another. Big Pen, contact on the nets. Point, Kentucky. Big Pen has been an impact player for Kentucky tonight.
Kentucky has needed a big second point scorer. Brooklyn DeLay is not having the kind of normal night we've seen from DeLay, but they've got scoring from everywhere else out on the court. That's been massive for Kentucky.
Texas is challenging no net fault.
So Texas was called into the net. Remember, we said before, we get to the 5th set, Texas picks up a challenge. So 2 challenges for Texas, 2 challenges for Kentucky as we play in the 5th set. Question's going to be, was the body of Texas into the net? The hair's okay, but the arms are not.
Arms definitely making contact.
The play is confirmed. Texas loses their challenge.
But remember, they picked up a challenge as we went to the 5th, so 1 challenge remaining for Texas, 2 for Kentucky.
Kentucky back into a really good rotation with Carr, Hudson, and Thigpen up front.
Swindle to Stafford. Thigpen again!
Thigpen has been incredible for Kentucky. She was the one who had that last point to bring Kentucky back in this match during the 3rd set. She is firing up and injecting enthusiasm into the Wildcats.
She played in just 1 set last night against Tennessee. She had 1 kill in that 1st set as Jordan Daly got time on the right side, but it has been Thigpen's time tonight. 9 kills, 10 kills on 19 swings, no errors for Asia Thigpen.
This is so difficult to do. It's hard to get into a rhythm. She was pulled in their last match, but having such a good night, and that's what you need out of your players. Maybe the player that you normally rely on, like DeLay, is struggling. They have to have another high point scorer. Thigpen has been fantastic on the right side and getting it done defensively. 4 blocks as well, trying to shut down good Texas lefts.
Her 10 kills is a new season high, her career high. 15, you see the numbers for the sophomore. Texas takes the timeout. Adjustments here for the Longhorns as they come out of this timeout.
I think Kentucky's in a really good rotation right now. They have 3 attackers up there. The block needs to play very disciplined on Texas's side and not guess where they're going.
Texas hit 439 in the 1st set, won 25-19. They had a comeback in the 2nd set to win 28-26. They had 2 match points in the 3rd set, but Kentucky fought back. Wildcats hit 378 in the 4th set, and they're up 2 as we played a 15 here in the 5th set with a tournament championship on the line. The freshman of the year in the SEC, Cassie O'Brien with the serve. Lizzie Carr, again and again and again.
Carr is making beautiful reads. This is so difficult to do when you're by yourself. A solo block, but she dives her hands back into the perfect spot.
Kentucky was there for Stafford. Carr didn't get a lot on it. And that's in. Stafford perfectly placed for the points.
What a shot for Stafford, sneaking it right inside the block. Stafford's spray chart tonight is just completely all over the court. She has hit so well with so much range.
That's a compliment when you're all over the court.
Oh, yeah.
That's a compliment. 27 kills for Tori Stafford. Spears. Her father told McKella, you don't have to put it through the floor every time. If there's an opening, you find it. Yeah, that's using the head. Went with the soft shot, placed it perfectly. That's what I texted her this morning, everybody. That's what I sent her in the message. Service error and a tough time for Swindle. That's 10 now for Texas, 10 also for Kentucky.
Fifth set goes really fast if you're trading points and giving errors.
Tuzzo kept it up, kicked up, but not over the net by Hudson. That would have been the perfect capper to this championship if that found a way over.
Good defensive hustle on Kentucky's side. One player lays out for it. Awesome up by Tuzzo. Really good save from Delay. I mean, if that ball goes over, Kentucky has way too much momentum.
Greg Skinner protesting to one of the officials. He thought perhaps Texas was over. We saw the Kentucky players indicating that, but that's something that has to be called in real time, and it was not. Chance here for Texas to tie it. Kari Spears makes sure of it.
Texas is learning so much about so many young players out on the court. Like Kari Spears, a freshman on the right side. She has showed up big in a fifth set in a championship.
Stafford serves. Delay off the block for Kentucky. Teams will change sides as Kentucky gets to 8 here in the fifth set. 4 Kentucky players in double figures in kills, 3 for Texas. Remember, the SEC tournament hasn't been around for 20 years. Brought back this year after that 20-year absence. So we go back in time for those 5 setters, way back in time because of that 2-decade break. Tuzzo to serve, 8-7. Tuzzo made a dive for it, could not get it. It's a point for Texas, tied again.
Another Texas freshman coming up big outside Abby Vanderwall, who's been so consistent tonight, scores at another big time.
Vanderwall with 14 kills tonight. She had 7 in the first set.
Step up, step up, step up. That's ready.
Vanderwall, touch called. Certainly a challenge coming here for Kentucky, and indeed, Craig Skinner comes up.
Kentucky is challenging no touch.
Looking to see if any fingers are bent backward. Doesn't look like anything there. That ball's clear out.
Brooke Coltema, that's our view now using what they're looking at right now in replay review. That middle finger doesn't bend back at all, does it?
Play is reversed, no touch. Point Kentucky. Kentucky retains their challenge.
Another successful challenge for Kentucky. Craig Skinner on a roll tonight. 9-8. Play to 15 here in the fifth. Final instruction to Molly Brezowitz on to serve for Kentucky from Skinner. She goes to Stafford. Off hands, point Texas, tied at 9.
Swindle's doing such a good job of making this offense unpredictable, setting different people at different times so Kentucky's defense can't get comfortable.
Sent back, Halter got a hand on it, but couldn't save it. And Kentucky gets the point as we go back and forth here in the fifth.
Siding out was massive for Kentucky to get out of that rotation, one that they've struggled in so far tonight in a 2-hitter row.
Hudson. Kentucky up by 2, 4 points away from a championship.
If Kentucky is going to win this match, they need Eva Hudson to come alive as she's done the entire match. Look for them to feed her.
23 kills for the newcomer and player of the year in the SEC this season. Texas takes their final timeout of the 5th set. You've been on the court. What is it like? You have a match point, you can't put it away, and that other team comes back, and it's been Kentucky building the momentum. How hard is that for Texas here after being so close to grabbing that trophy?
It's so difficult mentally for so many reasons, because one, the other team has a lot of momentum. They're able to feed off of that confidence, but it sometimes makes you question your abilities out there. It makes you think just a little bit harder, and we've seen a little bit of hesitancy from Texas. The first 2 sets, the Longhorns were in full attack mode. They were swinging hard for every single point. Since then, we've seen them back on their heels a little bit, get a little bit tentative on some swings. Kentucky, on the other hand, every player is playing lights out. They're playing to win instead of playing not to lose.
Eva Hudson, emotional leader and statistical leader for this Kentucky team. Michaela.
Listening to the Texas huddle, the message was we're not going to win anything if we back away from this moment. We need our best skills right now and to show up in the biggest lights.
Kentucky is such a difficult team to play when they have momentum because they're such an emotional team. That's why Craig Skinner caters his coaching to talking about living in the moment. It doesn't have to be X's and O's with this group. He just wants them to fight like they always do.
Bolea's had to fight through it tonight against this Texas team. Now she's serving for Kentucky. Spears too much, no touch. 12-9 Wildcats. We were tied at 9. 3 straight points for the Wildcats. Another point for Kentucky. 4-0 run.
Eva Hudson is taking over for the Wildcats right now. That intensity is why she's one of the best in the country.
Up by Tuzzo. Hudson again. Championship point. And Kentucky, SEC tournament champions. A 6-0 run to end the match. A reverse sweep for a championship. Kentucky stands alone.
The The grit that it takes to win a 5-setter, let alone get a reverse sweep, that is the toughest thing to do in the sport of volleyball. When you are down, backs against the wall, to have the mentality switch to come out over the next 3 sets and dominate in the way that Kentucky did shows that they are ready for the postseason, and they look scary.
Congratulations to Craig Skinner, SEC Coach of the Year for the 3rd straight year, regular season champions and tournament champions. Fittingly, DeLay, who fought through it, was at the service line for that 6-0 run, and Hudson is the one who ends it with her 25th kill of the night.
What Kentucky did as a team, one of their stars was struggling, so everybody picked it up. That's the sign of a good team headed into the postseason. They don't have to rely on just 2 players. Other people can step up and provide some of those holes that you might see.
Molly Tuzzo in the middle of it. It just has to be the greatest feeling to win the championship. And Eva Hudson comes to Kentucky. She's a champion, Michaela.
Eva reverse swept Texas for an SEC tournament title. To come back like that, what does that say about this team?
It just shows how much grit we have. I mean, not 1 second we doubted each other. We leaned on each other, and I'm just so proud of these girls.
We can see the fire in your eyes in the big moments. Where does that grit and competitive fire come from?
I think it just comes from the confidence that I know my people behind me are going to cover me, and I can take big reps in big moments.
Tournament back for the first time in 20 years, and you are now SEC tournament champions. How special is it to do that with this group of girls?
It's so special. I just love this team so much. We just have such a special bond, and I'm just excited to celebrate with them.
Well, go celebrate, Eva. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome performance by Eva Hudson, 25 kills. Tori Stafford led all players with 28 kills. Texas was so close. They had match point, but Kentucky battled through, and they are All-State SEC Volleyball Tournament champions in 2025.
I mean, what a tournament, led with drama since match 1 of this entire time. This has been so much fun, culminating in one of the most epic matches that we've seen so far the entire season.
So they're getting ready for the awards ceremony. If you want to see the full award ceremony, be sure to get on the ESPN app. They'll be covering it there. We've got some of it right here, right now. There's a photo that's going to be on the wall pretty soon. And we've gotten word that, hey, Ms. Libero Queen, Molly Tuzzo's the MVP.
Oh, yeah. Justice for Liberos.
What a performance by Kentucky. They win it over Texas at 5. For Emily and Michaela, I'm Eric. Now it's SEC Now.